Hi, everyone.
Hello, guys.
Hi,
I do what we're saying.
We're not talking to you, we're
Excuse-
talking to our guests.
Our listeners.
Our listener.
I'm also a listener.
Okay.
It's
Just
true.
that I'm a
Okay,
guest.
hi.
as well.
Okay, hi.
Thank you.
Hi,
So we have a
guys.
fan in the studio.
Who's that?
The listener, no, the listener that is a guest.
Anyways, welcome back to another episode of To Be Quite Honest.
The podcast.
Yeah.
And with us today, we have a very special listener.
Yeah.
And guest.
Our guest. A super fan.
Excuse me.
Right.
Like she said.
She said,
Please introduce yourself, lady in green.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi.
My name is Edem.
Okay.
I'm a lawyer.
Ooh.
I'm also a company secretary. I work with Mixta.
Okay.
I am the team lead for the company secretarial desk, legal professional,
Among other things.
other things, couple of
Okay.
other things. But
This is good because I want us to put the spotlight on a couple of other things because what we're going to talk about today is more or less like work-life balance. Like,
Yeah.
so you are someone who's like a professional. I mean, you're a lawyer, so you've obviously done the whole law school thing. You've put in hours, put in years into your experience.
Sweat.
How many years have you? How many years experience do you have? Like corporate experience?
well, I'm 10 years.
A
Wow.
decade.
Yeah. Well, wait.
Okay.
Wait. I was called to the Nigerian bar in 2012.
Oh, okay.
So that's 10 years a lawyer, but about maybe 8 years actual experience.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's good. Okay, that's fair enough. And I mean, because you said a lot of other things, so I want to just find out, like, in this, like, 8 years, 10 years, what other things do you do aside, like, the company secretariat thing, the lawyer thing? What else have you done outside of work in these 8 years?
Well, okay. So in addition to being a com secretary and right now like a legal professional, I also consult on the side. Still corporate,
Oh,
but
okay.
I consult. I've also run a kitchen
Oh,
at
okay.
some point. Yeah. But that was during lockdown when I had a bit more
Free
time.
time.
You
Oh,
know?
okay.
So I haven't done that in recent times. But like those are the two major.
Is
other
that
than-
as a result of, like, being unable to balance these things outside of work, or?
Well, I would say not really, because it's not really a hobby.
What's
when
my
you-
hobby?
Okay, the kitchen, you're in that
yeah,
business.
yeah. So if I'm going to do it, it's like a full-time thing. I realized that I couldn't do it as a side thing.
Oh, okay.
It was going to be something that I had to put all of my energy into.
okay.
So it's on hold for now, but just for now.
So
Yeah.
when you that's your retirement plan?
Actually, for real.
What I find so interesting about that, it's really great. A lot of people don't know what they want to do. In fact, a lot of people like just only do work, right? Like,
Yeah.
so they don't have like anything else outside of work. So let's touch on that for a bit. What do you do? So now that we know you're not going to run the kitchen now, what do you do outside of work to put some balance in your life? Because I don't know if
But
you've got
before
to,
you even answer that, like, do you think you have like a great work life?
I was just going to
balance.
say that.
I mean, to be fair, in Nigeria, it's kind of hard.
You,
Not for me. I'm just
because I feel like life is pretty balanced. In fact, the skills are tipping towards life. It's work. Life is heavy. I was like, if I complain, I don't want to be here.
I can't complain because that's not my personal life. I can't. I mean, but,
Okay.
like, I'm just saying. I'm just
It's
saying.
obvious.
No, but okay, for me now, I know it's funny because I've had this conversation recently. And
Yeah.
actually,
Okay.
I've had it at different points in time. For myself, given the kind of work that I do, the kind of hours that I
I
keep,
mean, you're a lawyer.
you know,
Very
and then also
stressful.
mixed
But
up.
you're in-house.
Yeah, so I'm in-house, but it's still quite a busy desk.
Okay.
It's quite busy. So I don't
So on a scale of
think-
1 to 10, how busy
20.
does it get?
How busy does it get? Yeah,
Probably
20.
20.
Actually, so, it's cyclical.
Yeah, okay.
So I have periods where I'm like crazy busy and I have periods where I'm just busy. But there's
But you're always
always
busy.
something.
So there's
to
no
do.
like chill time.
It's not really.
But
So
there's chill time.
let me try and explain. And I say this thing, I think that work-life balance is a buzzword now. It's very topical. People talk about it a lot, how to balance your life, blah, blah, blah. And I think if you're going to be practical, given the kind of work, I'll speak for myself. I think
Okay.
I strive more towards work-life integration.
Okay.
As opposed to work-life balance, because having work-life balance, that means that I'm saying that, my work life and then my personal life and then other things are actually on
the same level.
and truly they are not.
Something has to give.
Something typically has to give.
Okay.
So
What does integration then look like?
for me, what it looks like is identifying the different areas of my life that are important. So I understand that work is important. I love my job. So I know, and I'm very dedicated. So that's important. It's important to have a personal life. It's important to have time for family, important to have time for friends. So I just generally look at things and whatever at that point in time is the most important and I prioritize it.
Is it like a week on week or like month
So it's
on
a period
month
on
or
period.
period on period?
Yeah. So if at a particular point in time there's something going on at work that literally requires me to give 100 to the detriment of other things. If I have
Something
to,
you're happy to do.
I'm happy to do that. But I understand that it's
for
for
the time.
that period.
Okay.
You know, if there's a period where it's my family or it's a friend in a crisis,
Then is that, what is it? I have a very interesting like view on work-life balance, and I feel like it's more. A lot of people say it, it's at par, and then you've put up your integration like thing, but I really feel like work-life balance is literally about life stages. So when you're younger, like in your 20s, right, like work is not going to kill you. More or less. Like I'm putting hours, you can faff if you want, but your 20s just determine how the rest of your life is going to go. So I always tell people, I feel like your early like work stage career, you should always put in your best. Try and learn as much as you can, because the older, like the higher up you get, the skills that you need to work are less technical and more like sales. The higher up you get. And then you have a bit more free time. So I'm assuming that then you also have a family. So you can then begin to take time off. You can go for a kids recital earlier in the day. You have a bit more flexibility in your schedule. And then the older you get, you have a lot more of life per se and less of work. And so when people say work life, I always try to ask them, like, you're going to live for like 80 years. Why are you so stressed about this 5 years you have a job?
Are you sure you're going to live for 80 years already?
Well, if you prioritize your health and you don't get hit by a car, ideally, like plus or minus, like if COVID doesn't kill you and Lagos doesn't kill you.
Okay, so people that sleep and don't wake up, what do you think kills them?
I have no idea. I'm not a doctor.
Exactly. So
But actually,
you
no, I
can't-
actually know
you
what
know
kills
what,
them.
don't just-
Can I tell you I know what kills them?
What kills them?
It's a heart attack. Everybody that dies, literally, your heart literally stops working.
Yeah, so literally it's a heart attack.
Like if a car hits
An
you,
attack on your heart.
yes, literally.
Exactly. So when you say you live till 80, what happened to those people that just feel like they won't live till that time?
I really hope they enjoyed their life when they were here.
Exactly. So,
But I mean, so are you saying that you rather like get the most out of life?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
That's interesting.
I get your view and I actually understand what you're saying, but I think I have maybe a slight
Slightly.
qualification to that. Because yes, when you're in your 20s or when you're early on in your career, the emphasis is on your technical skills. And therefore you spend a lot of time trying to hone that. Thinking that as you get older, you're going to have more free time and all of those things. But not necessarily, because as you get older and you rise in your career, emphasis now shifts. So not necessarily business development is a big thing, is key depending on the area that you're working in. But your soft skills, your leadership skills, and even though it might take a bit less time, it might take a bit less time in terms of having to actually like do the groundwork,
actual work.
but it might actually still take as much of your time in terms of actually occupying you. So yes, it's in stages, but I think what is just important is identifying what is the
important.
most important.
Okay, I feel like that's
at
true.
every
but,
point in time.
And I say this like I read all those articles where they say we spoke to 100 people who are dying and these are their greatest regrets. We spoke, and everyone has like the same thing, like travel when you're young, travel more, see the world. Don't worry about work. It's never worth it. Nobody's on their deathbed thinking about how much they wish they worked harder, like they wish they spent more time with their family. So I feel like it's also maybe because in this part of the world, like there's a lot of poverty chasing people. So we're more like focused on trying to get money. We have a lot of things in front of us. As opposed to like maybe the West that they make those videos where they're always like, rest, enjoy your life. Like, this life is one. Your work is not your family, that kind of thing. So I find it like so interesting. Like, what do you think about that? Like if you get to your deathbed, inshallah, at the end of your life, do you think if you have lived your life the way you think, this like work-life integration, do you think you're going to have like significant regrets? Do you think there are things you have done differently?
Till then, no.
I was going to say, how do you expect her to answer
till
that?
then.
But I mean, have you never thought about this? Like, okay.
So the thing is, I actually spend copious amounts of time pondering.
Pondering.
What is the point of this life?
Actually, as a matter of fact,
Like,
that's a very good
what
question.
is the point? I could have asked, what have been an onion
or water?
Do
Just
you
flowing.
understand? Just flowing. Like, why am I here? What am I doing here? And I think I just tell myself is, well, whilst they're here, just do what
Might
makes
as
you
well.
happy.
Yeah.
You know, and happiness is really, really, really subjective. It depends on you. So
Okay.
if what makes me happy, I'm not saying this is what makes me happy, but assuming what makes me happy.
You can say what makes you happy. It's a safe space.
My dear, me, God,
Say
do I
it.
know?
You don't
You know, but
Fair.
if what makes you happy is, you know, having achieved the greatest heights in your career, being, you know, even if it was to the detriment of your
everything
family,
else.
everything else,
Okay.
but that is actually your own definition of happiness, then
Go
you
for
crack
it.
on.
Okay.
Do you get? But if what makes you happy is leaving a legacy in terms of your family or having rugrats and having children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, then crack on. The important thing is you understanding,
Okay.
you know, what
Now,
makes you happy.
I'm going to ask you like slightly controversial, but there's a wave. I mean, you already said work life is topical, but for women, I mean, I'm glad that we're 3 women, right? So there's the movement now about like mothers in the workspace and how much support you can give them and what work-life balance looks like for mothers, for wives, and I'm talking of in African context as well. Do you think all of that is also just topical, or there's like a real issue that managements across businesses actually should begin to consider?
It's both. It's topical, and it's because it's topical. It's then, you know, it's pushing the envelope, and then people are
Actually
talking of considering it. But the question now is are the conversations enough to actually
push the needle?
Are they enough? Are more organizations taking the step to actually be more inclusive and, you know, understand that being a mother, being a wife, being a woman doesn't, you know, you have to encourage that so that you can then get the best out of that person as an employee. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think we're seeing some examples. For instance, the whole into switch thing, how they, you know, went up and switched up their HR policies and all of that.
I would have thought that was because of Canada, but okay.
Bruh.
I would have thought that was maybe because we're really like bleeding staff. But
but I think that's part of it. So even in terms bleeding staff based on immigration is one thing, and it's a very big thing. But also
shout out to the HR guys in September.
Bruh.
In January,
too bad to them. I think it will be tough.
I mean,
you know. So I think
love.
yes, immigration is a big thing, but you know, maybe we're starting to have some impact with those conversations, but I don't think there's enough evidence to prove that yet.
Yeah, because, you know, I say this as someone who has experience, like having worked like in one of the big 4 firms. And one thing that I found so interesting was when we start out, it could be this class, like my year of the year I joined, I think it was split down the middle, right? It's 50-50. Like they're like, if there were 20 of us, it's 10 guys, 10 women. And then obviously we do 1 year. By year 2, when they promote everybody, so it's like equal. They promote you step 1, so you're like maybe you're an audit staff, so audit 1, audit 2, and then the girls begin to get married. So what you find is you get married, get pregnant, but because of the nature of the work that you do, your peak period or your season maybe like 6 months in a year, and if you're pregnant those 6 months, you don't work. And you're gonna have a baby 3 months after. So for like that cycle, they probably won't promote you because you didn't work. And you know, again, people say it's fair because you didn't work, so why should they promote you? But think of it like by the 3rd year, if 5 of those girls got married and pregnant, it means you have 10 men who have made a leap and 5 who haven't. Now you need to consider the 5 women that haven't are then also begin to feel a different hit because people are putting pressure on you to get married. By the 4th year, everybody moves to senior level. Maybe 2 more girls get married. The ones that are pregnant before, they are white. They don't get pregnant again. So they promote them 1 year, but they're already 2 steps behind. And I don't even say this to like throw shade or nothing, but the women are significantly like, they grasp the concepts faster. They're like very smart. Like, so compared to the men, they are ideally will be miles ahead if things were, if it was an even playing field. Now, by the 6th year, a lot of them don't even work anymore. So you have 2 kids, you have a husband, you can't keep these hours because you're working 7 days a week. Your client is lodging you. No, I'm serious. I'm going to be honest with you. Your client is lodging you. So Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday, you're working like 21 days straight, living out of a hotel. Your husband is not seeing you, your kids are not seeing you, your kids have to go to school. By the time you wait, you're like, you know, let me just
do something else.
So by the 7th year, men are making managers, maybe only 1 babe, maybe 2. maybe one leaves to go and join a client, like maybe one moves in house.
It goes into
and
industry,
then, so
yeah.
then businesses keep saying, oh, we're really concerned about the mothers, we're trying to support them. How then can they support them? Like, what do you think? Like, what kind of supports can you give to? And I don't even just see this in that corporate. That's an example I've personally experienced. But across businesses, I see people that say, "Oh, she joined. She's been here maybe 10 years, but she's still a." And everybody that joined with her is already a manager, and then she's still at like staff level. And they're like, why? I'm like, just life. That's just how it pans out, you know. What can businesses do to sort of level the playing field for mothers? What do you think they can do? I mean, I ask you because I feel like you're COSEC, and when they make policies, it probably ends up at your desk, and you probably want to ratify these things. And I know you sit in the board meetings, so you probably have a lot more insights. What do you think?
Well, I think there are conversations ongoing really about trying to level the field. But unfortunately, just by virtue of what you've described, if you have a business that's performance-based, it's performance-based. So I think the only thing that can be done right now is to not penalize women or punish women for, being out of office for certain periods of time, so far as in the period that they are in. The period that is left, if you can make a justification for them that, okay, yeah, this person was out 3 months in the whole year, but for the rest of the 9 months, this person performed.
No, but let me tell you, she's going to go to antenatal like twice a week. She's going to like.
So, the thing is, yes, you're probably at reduced capacity, but if your reduced capacity is still good enough,
yeah, as long as you know what she's
how can it be good? How can it be good? I want to ask you, if you're like on bed rest. The women that literally...
So those ones, they don't do. Those are exceptional situations. Okay. They don't happen. It's not a norm. Yes, I know a number of women have difficult pregnancies.
Yeah.
But assuming all things being equal, you have a fairly normal pregnancy.
Less stressful.
You are still... Pregnancy is not a disease, not a handicap. So because
But it's... I feel a lot of people say this, but I really think it is. Women lose teeth. Their bones shift. They have carpal tunnel.
I think that's like the very...
I know, actually, it's not. It's more common than you would know.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, like she said, pregnancy is not a disease. So
the truth is,
let's give it 20%.
So the thing is, you can't say that for a bit. So like you said, I sit on the board, and usually what the board is looking at, the board sets strategy, right? And they have where they are going to. Do you understand? They have goals for the year, and staff, or they have resource to support those goals. So if at the end of the day you're contributing your quota, then you shouldn't be penalized for the fact that you've taken some time off.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if they do an assessment and you have not contributed your quota in that year, whether or not you were in or you were out, then it is only actually
they have every
fair.
right.
But here's the thing, like I feel like whoever is not contributing because they're pregnant probably wasn't contributing when they were not pregnant anyway.
Sorry?
Like from what I'm saying, like you are stating you're implying, or the assumption is that from what you've said, I'm assuming that you're also going to say that whoever is not efficient when they're pregnant, when they were not pregnant, probably not efficient as well.
No, I don't think so.
No, but based on the question you asked, what did you say? You said you were asking if the ladies, like the question you asked her was if they have performed, right? That was what you asked her.
I said like, what do you think businesses can do to address like that shift? And then she's like saying that irrespective of whether or not they're pregnant, the time that they were actually in, what did they do?
Yeah, so she's saying based on their performance.
I'm saying that because most companies...
Businesses are performance-based.
Exactly. So what can you do to support a pregnant woman?
Not even just pregnant now, because pregnancy is one step. Motherhood is like a whole different ballgame.
So what can you do to support mothers? Right?
Yes, that's more
that's
like...
it. But how did we get here though? We're talking about work-life
I
balance.
know, actually, we really shifted. But like, because I feel like a lot of people, they push work-life balance for is women, is mothers. It's whenever I hear men talking about work, it's how they're going to promote me. It's how I'm going to go and play golf with my God. Then nobody's trying to... The men don't care about work-life balance, because I feel like if you have a wife, your life is balanced. Someone's doing all the other stuff for you. They're feeding your kids, they're taking your kids to school, they're doing PTA runs. You don't really, like, a lot of men are not very involved.
Kind of easy.
So this is now like a gender conversation.
Not necessarily. I'm just saying that the norm or the reality about
or maybe
work-life balance.
It's because of where we live.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can base it on Africa.
Our reality of work-life balance is that women are
It's
probably going to
for-
be the greatest proponent. Like if it works out, women are going to be the best beneficiaries. Like
Yes.
you're the one who has to balance a lot of things.
And so women generally, not just married women, not just mothers, even
This is true.
Yeah,
Unmarried
just
women,
unmarried
single women.
single ladies. So I don't think we should focus just on
mothers.
on
Exactly.
mothers. Let's focus
Yeah,
on
but women generally,
yeah. So yeah,
what can businesses do to
support work-life balance
for everyone?
for everyone? Because that's the point.
Yeah.
But yes, we understand that it's going to benefit women better.
The impact, I believe that, and whenever they couch it as, it's a conversation for everybody, I say, I don't think it's for everybody because every time I tell you, like, you're always pushing, like, I tell them my politics is women. So when people keep saying, like, it's always about the women for like, because I am a woman first, like, and if there's a policy that's going to benefit me, why would I not champion it? Like, why would I not think of, oh my God, let us consider this if I'm going to get, even if I'm not a direct beneficiary, even if they say, they are going to give maybe children benefits, I'm happy for that because women will be better for it,
So what I think that businesses can do to support work-life balance for women, for men, for everybody really, but really for women. I think really, well, we had this conversation at work even recently, right? We have
Women's Day.
the KSS on
work-life balance.
we had the town hall.
We had a town hall.
We had a town hall. So I think right now the biggest push for work-life balance is flexi work.
Yeah.
That's the biggest push right now. Let's look at things that are realistic and can actually push the needle. I know that, we work on sites. I know that the weeks that I'm able to work a couple of days off, I feel better. I feel more relaxed. I know that the days that I'm able to take maybe 2 hours in the morning or close earlier, I feel better. Do you understand? So yeah, I think we just need to be more be less rigid, be more flexible about working hours. Understand that the work has gone global. The work has gone beyond coming to the office and sitting down now. And I think a lot of Nigerian companies are, towing that line, and obviously internationally, globally.
Yeah, countries are beginning to experience with 4-day work weeks.
Exactly, they agree. And I think there are even like a couple of companies. I know there's one company here in Nigeria.
Good luck to that company.
I don't know how that's going to work out for them in the long run, but yeah, they're doing so. Yeah, I think just to be more flexible. And then I think I had a conversation recently about how work-life balance is a youth thing. Yes, so there's the company policy, but then there's also a you thing, So there's a situation where your office can actually allow you to come to work once a week. Your office can actually allow you to resume at 10 and close by 4, and, you work during those periods and then you have all of this other free time. And what do you do with that free time? So you might be free, but you're not necessarily having a balanced life.
True.
Do you understand? So it's also a you thing.
Okay.
Now, talking about women and mothers, because we kind of segued off into that. So let's just talk about that. Like,
not too much in depth, though.
Not too much in depth, but let's just discuss that. Well, obviously I don't have kids, so I can't say that I relate or I can feel their pain, but I realize that from my colleagues or my friends who are mothers, a major pain point is not their kids, not having visibility over their children, not having flexibility over their time so that they can take care of their children. I remember that I was having a conversation with a colleague this week, actually, and she was saying how she's switching jobs, right? And one of the biggest things for her, the biggest push for her to shift for that shift, is because she can take her kids to school in the morning. The money isn't much better.
Okay.
It's about the same thing, but she can take her kids to school in the morning, and that's a big thing for her.
Okay.
Do you understand? So I think we just have to be more focused around understanding the pain points of women and then trying to address them.
Yeah, but I also feel like there are not enough women at the table at management level to actually convey this
100%.
Because if imagine there's a board of 10 men and they're like, women are all happy. Who is not happy here? Nobody's hand is up saying, hey, so next, that literally is what it is.
Yeah, and so I'm just going to go into corporate governance part of it now. So that's why there's actually a governance push towards diversity.
Putting more women on the
level.
Okay, that's true.
You understand? So diversity in terms of gender, in terms of age, in terms of experience. So when we're talking about diversity in terms of gender, it's because you want to be able to offer unique perspectives. So we're not just talking about men and what the men understand. Even in terms of board dynamics in terms of discussions at the board level, that a certain perspective a woman would bring and a
That
man can never bring. Even
fair.
if we're talking about a purely commercial issue.
Okay.
Do you understand? So, it starts from the top. You tone all the way
All the
down.
way to the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, great. I feel like it's a bit hectic. So let's kind of switch base a bit. Do you take work home?
Yes.
Are you happy that you're taking work home?
I'm not, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Okay, let's talk about like vacation now. If you're going on vacation, are you going to take is this something, are you going to leave a laptop in the office, or is it possible? Is it a possibility that you can actually consider? Like, have you ever thought, like, if I'm dreaming this dream, is it possible that I can leave my laptop? I'm going to leave.
So let me give like a real life discussion I'm having with my boss. I should have gone on leave months ago.
Okay.
I haven't gone on leave because I knew that if I had gone on leave at any point in time prior to now, I would definitely be working.
Okay.
And I would be annoyed. So we had the conversation that, okay, we have an event coming up here.
Okay.
Once we're done with that event, I have custody of that event. Once we're done with that, I can go on leave. And best believe I plan to leave my laptop at home.
Ooh.
Now, that is my belief.
What reality might be?
What's going to happen?
You might just take it. I think in all my life,
Yeah.
I've only gone on maybe 2 vacations without my laptop.
You have gone. I've gone on none.
Maybe just, and the second one was like 4 days.
Bruh.
And in that 4 days, we were calling.
Okay.
And I'm like, I can't even do anything. I don't have my laptop.
Really?
Can you try with your phone? I'm like, you know that stuff. My phone does not support Excel. Are you sure? Look at the numbers.
You can just do like a
They
high-level
literally,
review.
and I'm like, I don't think you understand. Like, the time difference is like, I'm not going to do it. When I back, I'm like, soon.
It is what it is, man.
I mean, I do think it's a culture shift. I think people are beginning to, maybe because the people that are getting into like leadership and management roles are becoming a bit younger.
Yes, that's actually a thing.
What do you think, Mama?
I agree.
Okay, great. Thank you. But before we go, I want us to just touch on like just prioritizing things we can take. I know you spoke about how you can have free time and still not be balanced, right?
Yeah.
Like you can literally work only 4 to 24 hours in a day and still sort of
Not have a
an
balanced life.
imbalance. Yeah. So what when you say prioritizing, what steps do you think our listeners that are actually interested in either integrating or just prioritizing what work-life balance can look like to them, what steps do you think they can take or they should take to arrive at that point?
Yeah, again, like I said, I feel like it's a very subjective thing. So
Okay, so actually, what steps do you take?
do I take?
Let's start with that.
To be fair,
Do you take any steps?
No. So I won't say that.
You're
you know,
taking steps.
you
You're
want-
taking steps. I see you taking steps.
You see me taking
I
steps.
see you taking steps.
Okay, so the thing is, for me, yes, I have a busy life. I have a busy job, but I do try to be intentional about like unwinding.
Okay.
I do try to be very intentional about that. It doesn't happen all the time. There's some weeks, there's some months that I would go maybe every weekend and I'm not even able to go out or have a
Drink or just
have
like
a drink
hang
or
out.
whatever. But there's some that's, for instance, like today,
It's going.
it's going down.
It's going to come more.
I had a very, very, very busy month actually, but it has now wound down. And so I'm intentionally going out. I'm going out with my friends. I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to have a laugh. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to actually have a very nice weekend.
Nice.
So yeah, I think you just have to be intentional about these things and then listen to your body.
Okay.
I think that's also very important. Listen to your
I think
body.
there's a huge there's too much disquiet in that we should be making a lot of noise about like physical health when we speak about work-life balance, and we don't do that.
Yeah.
I really think that it's something that we should talk about. We need to begin to move our bodies more. The older you get, your lifestyle, you're more sedentary. So you definitely need to begin to consider like how can you incorporate some sort of health, not necessarily like fitness, not necessarily for like the aesthetic, but more for
from a wellness
from
point
a
of view.
exactly from a wellness point of view. So what you've told our listeners is they should be intentional.
Yeah.
They should definitely consider trying to pencil in time for
themselves. For other things.
Work is not everything.
It's not everything. It's a
lot of things.
Yeah,
It's a lot of things, but it's
pay
not
your salary.
girl. It's funding the life.
Yes.
You know what's so interesting? People keep saying, I don't want to work, but like work is funding the life.
Yeah,
So
but the thing is now, so you're working to fund the life, so actually like try and
live the life.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Oh, that's a good. I love that. Please,
Excuse me.
Please give me five. Give me
Excuse
five.
me.
You know, I
Where are
like
my
that. Please, let's
flowers?
use that. So work is funding the life.
Yeah, but
so you should try
and
have
actually
live the life
Yeah.
or have the life.
Yeah.
Which one?
Have the
should
live
do?
the life.
Live the life.
Live the life.
Okay,
Live the
good.
life.
All right. On that note, listeners, you heard from our guests. Work is funding the life, so you should try and live the life.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Yes,
All right.
yes,
Nama, do you
yes.
want to add anything before we go?
You're good.
Again,
great.
our listeners, before we go, please. This topic was because someone had asked about like work life in the industry.
Yeah.
I'm guessing people have always just assumed like, real estate, carrying pompo on site. But there's like a lot, there's more, like it's a wider range.
There's a lot of back office.
Yeah, there's a lot of back office functions that people don't know
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
And I'm really glad that you came on and just
Thank you.
threw some surface light on that. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on. Our listeners, if you have any questions, comments, contributions, they'll put the thing at the bottom.
Yeah,
They'll
the
put
thingy.
the thingy. So emails where they can come to our Instagram is to be quite honest, the pod. So you can actually send us a DM. There's a post that has a question thing, so you can just put your comments there, put your questions there. We're happy to talk about those new topics. On that note, Edem, thank you so much for joining
It's been
us.
real.
To our
Thank
listeners
you.
at home, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.